Well, this is the new Honda Amaze for 2025. This car comes with a completely new look on the outside. From the front, everybody's saying it looks like the Elevate, and at the back, everybody's saying it looks like the City. So is that enough to win you over? That's not all. It also gets camera-based ADAS, which means that it's the most affordable car in the market, which offers you ADAS not only in the compact sedan segment, across segments. It's the cheapest car, or rather the most affordable car, which offers you ADAS. So does the interior live up to the Amaze name, or does it feel like Honda has cut some cost? We'll find out on the video today. We'll drive it, we'll show you the interiors, we'll tell you about the features. So it's the most detailed review you'll find on the net about the new Honda Amaze. If you come to this channel for the first time, then please subscribe to it, like our video, and if you want to check out all our other rival videos, then the links are in the box below. Let's get started with the new 2025 Honda Amaze. Well, so I'm inside the cabin of the new Honda Amaze, and I have to say that this is a nice place to be in. It's a very pleasant place to be in. What you will immediately appreciate is the fact that on the top of the line ZX, you get these semi-digital kind of gauges. So the left one is digital, the right one is analog, and it's exactly like the one you get on the City. Looks very cool, looks very nice. Over here, the AC vents, and of course, this little design seems very similar to the Elevate, but in general, the ambience is quite good, and all the materials feel like they're at par with their main rivals. Of course, the Dzire is the main rival, and all the materials feel just as good as the one on the Dzire. You of course get some very nice touches even on the base version, like you get a touchscreen, you also get 6 airbags, and you also get ABS even on the base version, so that's something quite good. This particular ZX trim gets a sunroof. No, it doesn't get a sunroof. That's the only thing missing on this car. You get ADAS features, steering mounted controls, adaptive cruise control and stuff like that, and you also get automatic climate control, wireless charger for mobile phone and stuff. But of course, a sunroof is the only thing which is missing on this car. When you compare it with the Dzire, in isolation, the seat comfort is generally very good. Very nice and supportive seats. The cushioning is absolutely spot on, neither too firm, neither too soft, and the touchscreen also is quite decent to operate. It's not a very easy touchscreen to understand initially. It takes maybe a couple of minutes, or maybe it takes 5 minutes for some people to get used to it, because the menus, some menus aren't very easy to navigate through. But on the whole, the sound system, the touchscreen, everything works quite well. It's a Honda, so you get plenty of utility places as well, because they follow the man maximum machine minimum plan. And here you get a big place where you can keep your cell phone, couple of beverage holders here, and big beverage holders here in the door bins as well. And the glove box is also of a decent shape and size. So overall, it's a nice place to be in. I'll give the cabin of this car a decent score of 9 out of 10. Now let's jump in the back seat and see if there is any improvement in there, or it's exactly like the previous car. Well, so I'm in the back seat of the Honda Amaze, and headroom is more than sufficient for someone whose my height, which reference is 5'10". Even if you're about 5'11", you should be okay. But of course, if you just hit 6 or maybe more than that, then you might just have your hair brushing over here with the roof. But for people who are about 5'10", 5'11", it is a nice and comfortable place to be in. Legroom also is more than sufficient, and the front seats have been raised up, so you can stretch your feet. Over here, you don't get any pockets to keep your files, but you do get a pocket over here on the passenger side, on the left side. Couple of AC vents, and a 12-volt charging socket is here, but there's no USB type C inside this car, and there's no old school USB also at the back, so that's a bit of a surprise. The windows are nice and large. The only thing is that the doors, they don't open completely 90 degrees, they just stop over here in the middle. So that's something that some people will notice, because getting in and out for older people can then get a little tricky, because the doors don't open all the way up to 90 degrees. That said, the backrest angle is absolutely spot on. The seat comfort is generally very good. And if you really are on a budget, if you're running on a budget, you want to spend around 10 lakh rupees, but you want a car which offers you very good space in the back, then nothing beats this car at this price point. Yes, any other compact SUV which sells at this price point doesn't offer you the same kind of legroom that the Honda Amaze has to offer. So if you really are on a budget and want a chauffeur-driven car, just go ahead and book the Honda Amaze. You also get an armrest and 3 headrests for all 3 occupants at the back. I'm pretty impressed with the overall space as well as comfort over here, and I'll give the Amaze a strong score of 8.5 out of 10. Well, so let me quickly show you the boot of the Honda Amaze. Now this car offers you the biggest boot in the segment, 416 liters, and it's a nice and spacious boot. It's a nice and wide boot as well. There's a bit of a loading sill but just ignore that because you can easily keep in those big golf bags, those big cricket kits. Everything can go inside without any fuss. So it really is a spacious boot, and this is the biggest boot in the compact SUV segment as well. Now the reason I'm telling you about the SUVs is because they retail for roughly the same price, but they don't offer you either the backseat experience or the boot size that they may has to offer. So definitely, if you have a compact SUV in your mind, check this car out as well because the pricing is very similar, and this one offers you a lot more space than those compact SUVs can. Anyways, enough of the boot and enough of compact SUVs. Let's jump inside and take this car out for a spin. Well, so now I'm driving the Honda Amaze. This car comes with the same 1.2 petrol iVTEC engine that it used to come earlier with, but Honda claims that they have reworked the engine. They worked on the bottom end of the engine, which basically means that they've made it a little more responsive at the lower end of its torque band, at the lower end of the RPM band. And initially, it's very difficult to really gauge unless you've not driven the older version of the car. It's really difficult to tell if it's really such a big difference. But yes, there is a marginal difference in terms of the overall responsiveness at the lower end of the RPM. One area where this car is definitely ahead of the Dzire is in terms of the refinement. Yes, the refinement levels on this car are much better. It's a 4-cylinder engine. The Dzire is only a 3-cylinder engine, so it does show immediately. Even when you're driving it hard and you're above 3,500, 4,000 RPM, the cabin and the engine isn't as noisy as the Dzire is, and generally it's a very quiet car at slow city speeds. Very hard to tell if the engine is also running or not when you're starting at a standstill. So it really is a fantastic car in terms of refinement and quietness. What you'll also enjoy about this car is the overall steering wheel feedback. It's not got that flimsy kind of steering wheel which is ultra light like some of the other rivals, but it's nice and responsive. And even though sometimes you might say that I wanted a little more feedback, a little lighter feedback, it just feels absolutely well weighed. It's neither too light that you start feeling nervous, and neither is it too heavy that you start feeling at the end of a long day tired and stuff like that. So it's a perfectly weighed steering wheel. Visibility all across is generally good, nice and chunky side view mirrors. The horn on this car needs to be replaced because this one just feels like it's feeling a little embarrassed to ask you for space and to tell you that I'm behind you. So I think that Honda needs to change this horn because Hyundai cars come with very loud horns. Even Maruti Suzuki makes very loud horns, and I think Hyundai is better in terms of the sound quality or the sound kind of effect that they give from their horns. That's one thing where they are clearly ahead. Other than that, what else is there? Well, the ride quality is quite good. It is decent in terms of the overall ride, and it's also quite good in terms of the overall sound damping. It feels quite nice and generally feels like a nice car when you're driving this car in the city. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this package, and I'll give it a good score of 8 out of 10. A little more power would have been welcome towards the top end, but I think for this kind and this category of car, it is generally quite okay. Anyways, now time to stop the car and give you a definitive verdict. Well, so overall, what is my verdict with the new Honda Amaze? Is it a better car than the Dzire, or should you still go ahead and buy that Dzire? Well, if you want that ADAS suite, then this car definitely has the advantage. It also offers you the bigger boot, and the back seat space is generally quite good as well. So if you really are looking at a chauffeur-driven car, then this choice really makes sense for you. It doesn't have a sunroof, so if that's something you want desperately, then the Dzire is the car for you because this car doesn't offer you a sunroof just as yet. But as a product, in isolation, it's a very well sorted product. The power is decent, the back seat, the boot is quite good, and driving is always a pleasure when you're driving a Honda. And I think that this car deserves a strong score of 92 out of 100. It really is an unsung car in Indian market. It's a car which deserves to sell more, and it's definitely a car which seems to have its heart in the right place. And that heart is that it's a very good value for money proposition as well. So bye for now, and thanks so much for watching this video.